Hi and welcome to this post-social podcast presented by Oliver Thomas Wilcox. Today's guest is Paula Sanchez, Girls Academy Coach at Bloomsbury Football and Girls Super League Manager. During the podcast today, we talk about her choice to move to England for football and the work that she does with Bloomsbury Football and the Girls Super League. Before we start, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and check the description for our webpage, Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn.
So thank you very much, Paula, for being here today. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. So before we go into the questions, do you mind just giving a brief summary of your work and your interests?
Yeah, well, I'm Paula. I come from Spain. I came to the UK to study sport journalism. I really like sports since I was really young. And then in the UK here, I started seeing how fans really liked football. And that's when I even got more interested about football, even though I already loved it. And then I just started playing here and ended up being a coach and a girls Super League manager.
Right. So where did you go to university to do journalism?
So I studied sport journalism at University of Arts of London in the London College of Communication, so a little bit of South London. And then I also did a master's on that same university on public relations. But it was just because, to be honest, I just did that master because I really wanted to stay in London. I keep playing football with my friends in my university, and I just stayed there.
That was fair enough. I mean, anything for football. So you said you did sports journalism. What was your inspiration to become a coach after that? Because that's what you do with Bloomsbury Football, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So when I was in Spain already, I've always loved kids. So I didn't know, when I was a kid, I didn't know if I wanted to be like a teacher or if I wanted to be football, like a professional footballer. But obviously at that time, professional football was kind of difficult. So I just then decided I wanted to do something with, like, I also love talking to people. So I was like, the best thing maybe is like sport journalism. I found the chance in London. But how I was saying, when I was in Spain, I already coached some kids at my school. So I already had a little bit of introduction about that, but obviously it was in Spanish. And when I came here, one of my friends worked for Bloomsbury, and I just went there to help with a camp for like a week. And I kind of loved the organization, loved the kids, and I was like, I have to stay here. And I started getting like my FA level 1, all my coaching certificates, my safeguarding, all of that. And then it was just from there, I just started coaching more, and I now have my own team, my under 12s.
Right. Well, so I've actually talked to people from Bloomsbury before, Charlie Hyman and John Curran, and we've talked about the club as like the whole of the club, but haven't really heard as much as maybe people would like from girls football, that side of the club. So could you give us a bit of an insight to how popular it is?
Yeah, it's funny because you've talked to John, and I play for the Bloomsbury futsal women's team, and he's my coach.
Right.
So so it's all related. I'm quite into Bloomsbury. I play for them, I coach for them, everything. But yeah, in the women's side, we have the foundation side and the academy side. We also have open sessions for girls, and in the foundation side, so we have sessions for all age groups. It's usually like 1 session a week. And the academy side is more like 2 sessions a week. They have matches every weekend. It's literally the same as the boys' academy, so I love that. Like they have the same. They have everything's the same. They have S&C. They have everything that they want. And obviously, I fell in love with that when I came in because that was kind of starting the academy. So I just stayed there because I wanted to see the progress. And now we have like more than 60 girls in the academy, obviously some in the foundation. But it's just great to see how we have academy teams from under 8s till under 14s. But now this year we're gonna have an under 15 team too. So I love it. It's great.
That's great to hear. Yeah. So going back a bit later, you did work with Post United. Could you talk about your time there a little bit?
Yeah, so obviously I was studying sport journalism and I had to do like a placement a year or kind of like a few of like weeks working for someone as practice. And I knew someone in the UK that worked for them in the UK. Because yeah, they were like, it's Post United is like a social media account on YouTube where they like talk about football 24/7. It's like 433, let's say.
Mm.
And I just went there and did some YouTube videos because they do like match reports. So that was good for my degree. And then it was like every day in the office watching football, which I love. So it was like an amazing job. I was getting paid.
Mm.
They even offered me a job to stay there, but I wanted to come back to London and experience
Right.
more football here. So I just got back. But it was just posting posts about what the Premier League was doing, what the league was, La Liga was doing, and it was kind of that.
Right. So talking about your switch over to London from, was it Barcelona? Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
So
is.
why would you want? Why did you come back London solely for football? Is it how different is it from in Spain?
So, I mean, I think I was very lucky as a kid. I played in an academy where the girls were valued the same way as the men.
Hmm.
But I think my academy was very specific and one of a kind, let's say. Um, but when I got here, I saw that a lot of girls really wanted to play football. In Spain, it's more like, oh, my brother plays football, so I play football.
Right.
And also, it's like a small world, like everyone knows each other. I'm guessing in the UK too. But I just came back because all my friends played football. I loved playing football. I could play football 24/7 wherever I wanted. Like there's mixed games, there's only women's games. Um, and then yeah, I just came here for uni football, and because obviously it was easier for me to attend to like Premier League teams games as a journalist at that point. Because
Mm.
in Barcelona there's only two teams, so I would have to travel a lot. In London there's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just loved the environment, like the fans. I love how people in the UK love football in general, like everyone. So it kind of stayed for my job, and then obviously for my university football. And from then I just started futsal, playing at Bloomsbury. I also started coaching, so it was just perfect.
Yes. Futsal's quite interesting. I play it myself at my university too, but we don't have a women's futsal team, which I find kind of strange because I know a lot of people would be up for that. But it's not quite as big women's futsal. Do you have you seen any like growth in the sport for women's side?
100%. So like Bloomsbury didn't have a futsal team last year.
I
So
was
it's
brand new
it's
then.
our yeah, it's our first year. We started having a squad of, I mean, John started the squad really early, so he like kind of did it properly.
Mm.
Like the season was supposed to start 6 September, October. And by May he was already doing like free sessions for people to come in and see if they liked it and join the team. But yeah, we had like 20, and now sometimes like the squad can be 20, 30, it depends. It just depends on the commitment of the girls. But yeah, like since the start, I mean, I'm from Barcelona, and Barcelona doesn't have a women's team, a futsal women's team, which is quite strange for me too,
Mm.
because like in the
Yeah.
men's side, they're incredibly good. Like they're Champions League winner. Like they're top of the league all the time. So I used to play back in Spain at my school, but I just left it because in Spain it's not that important. Like no one plays futsal. It's more like 11 aside. And then when I came here, um I didn't hear about it, but then I joined futsal like Bloomsbury, and then I saw this new world that everyone like in the national futsal series. There's so many teams. Everyone has like big squads. I think it's just growing. I think next year the women can start playing in the Champions League, a UK team, which is going to be really good for us.
Mm.
Um, it's just a bit a shame that we are, let's say, the highest level that futsal can be, and we still have to pay for travel. We have to pay for to play futsal, which hopefully one day we shouldn't, because we're in the highest level. But yeah, it's grown a lot, to be honest, since I started.
That should change one day. But it's interesting to hear that women's futsal isn't as big in Spain, because I would have thought, being quite good, the men's team quite good, I would have thought the women's team would be on par, women's futsal, that is. But yeah, so
Yeah, I
moving
would
on
say,
to.
sorry to cut you
I'll
there.
cut you off.
No, go ahead. And I would say like the Spanish women's team is amazing, but that's because there's little teams around Spain. But specifically in Barcelona, what I saw is that until you're 10, you can play futsal at school very easily, and then it's like quite difficult to find a team, or there's one team and everyone wants to. So yeah, it was quite difficult.
Yeah, apologies for cutting off there.
No, don't worry.
So moving on to Girls Super League, could you give like a summary of that, of what it is?
Yeah, of course. So my colleague, well, she doesn't work for she's not the Girls Super League manager anymore, but she saw that she was also working for Bloomsbury, and she saw that the Bloomsbury teams didn't have many leagues to play in. She was like, wow, this is quite strange. Like North London, even London, where are the leagues? Like, where can I put these teams to play? She saw that, yeah, that there was no leagues for the teams. So then she started this league called the Girls Super League. And the Girls Super League is a league where we give competitive matches weekly to from under 9/8 till under 15/16s. And they have competitive matches every weekend. Well, we started alternating weekends because obviously we didn't know how much commitment they could have, but now we have so many teams coming up. Like next season, we're going to have up to 30 teams every weekend. We have 2 locations, north venue that's going to have like around those 30 teams, and the west one that's going to have like around 6 to 12 teams, and hopefully we can expand to east and south. And obviously during the summer we're going to have, well, we did that last year, but we only did tournaments north and west of London. This year we're going to do tournaments east and south to just like get the girls in the pitch, play, like get their confidence up, get them playing. Our tournaments are really cool because they're like really long, well, not extremely long, but like the morning, so they can stay there playing football quite like a long time. They can meet other teams and say like, oh, she's doing it too, oh wow, she's incredible, and kind of like admire them, other teams, and admire their own teammates. But yes, like really competitive matches. We have female referees, which I think is quite important because they're like role models. And then all the GSL team is, most of it, to not say 90%, 100, is girls, and that are like a university team, play football, or play, like we have one that used to play for Crystal Palace, a lot of UCFB students that play football, and they are with us because we believe that they're role models for the girls, and if the girls can see it, they can be it. So they can be like, oh look, I don't have to just be a football player, I can be a referee, I can be an accountant, I can be a manager, about this, I can be a coach. So yeah, we kind of try and involve the girls with also a lot of female, and we invite them to a lot of games, women's games, so they can just like see how it's possible to make it nowadays.
Well, that sounds like a lot of great work there. Definitely inspiring a lot of young women in football. So to wrap up the whole podcast, would you give us like one bit of advice or two, how much you got, of young women just hoping to build a career around football, whether that's in football, playing it, coaching it, or just life, anything?
Yeah. So I would say when I was a kid, I was very lucky that my whole family quite supported me. And they made me believe I was capable of, and I was good at it. So I would say one good tip is believe in yourself. And if you have friends and family that support you and help you, even better. But if not, keep believing that you can do it, you can make it. Put your dreams quite high. You will accomplish them like 100%. Like I said, I would love to be involved with women's football in the UK, and I made it. Like I go to this network events with Nike, with everyone, and it's just incredible to see that other women also made it. And the second one I would say is work hard. I've always been a person that my coaches would always be like pushing me really hard to be better and better and better, because I guess they believed in me that I could do better. And at that point, I was believing in me, but that's when I decided, oh, I have to keep working hard to achieve what I want. And I work, and I think working hard is a really good one. So I think believe in yourself and keep working hard.
Okay, great bits of advice. Well, thank you very much for giving up some of your time to talk here today. It's been great to hear about the work you do, ambitions. So yeah, just thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.